So in terms of calibration, so you're doing that assessment, you're going to have 30 items out of a bank of about 200, and we would certainly expect, fingers crossed, things going well, that we would expand on the bank over a period of time.
Oh, no, sorry. I mean, when the user's taking the test, how does it adapt? Some tests, you do 5 and then it gives you a harder or easier 5?
So what's happening?
Is it just after every question?
It's after, so it's after every question. So adaptive. So this is why in a lot of static tests, you can go back if you suddenly had that, moment of going, oh, I know I answered that one wrong, so you can go back. But with this, it's kind of like unraveling time kind of thing. So your next question is based on the calculation of how you're responding on all of your previous.
And we've started it relatively easy as well. We dropped it down from what we were doing in the trial so that kids get there and go, oh, I kind of know this stuff, rather than going, ow, I don't know, what's this, get a few wrong before they get there. So we started it relatively low, so it actually takes a little while to build up as well.
So in a static test, the other options are there for a purpose, like the multi-choice 1 to 4. You've got your correct answer, but then the other answers are put there for a certain, there's thought behind those questions, not just 3 incorrect answers.
Yeah.
Does the incorrect answer on an adaptive test take you a different path too? Or is it just the fact you've got it wrong and the computer goes, you've got it wrong?
It's the latter. The fact that you've got it wrong, so that question will live within a level of difficulty, and as Basil mentioned, it will live within a particular aspect, and what goes on under the hood made mention of the algorithm, which is essentially like the engine or the coding, and what will happen is it's got rules it needs to satisfy. I want to give you a mix of this, and this, but certainly if you get, the decision is on.
So in this sense, the 3 other options are just 3 other options.
Oh, no, they're still purposely in there as distractors, etc. Whether that's
they have to be psychometrically sound. All of the distractors.
But I think the point is there's not like there's always a transliteration. So if you're the sort of person who always gets transliteration, so you obviously know something about it, but not enough. Whereas the other ones might be completely enough. That's kind of what you.
Yeah, I just didn't know if there was logic between it. So A is the answer, but B, well, your thought pattern might be this way, but C, your thought pattern might be this way. Like, and with the other static tests, you can sort of analyse the misconceptions, whereas I didn't know if the adaptive did that. Like, if it was clever enough to do that.
You still could, but the challenge there is because everyone's doing different sets.
I understand.
So
we've got a couple more minutes. No, we've got a couple more minutes. Kia ora.
So the report that Basil had shown, which had the dots, correct and incorrect on the right-hand side, there's a panel. So for each individual student, we've grouped the responses in those aspects, and at a glance you can quickly see whether people have got more or fewer correct or incorrect within that area.
Yes, so you get an individual report for each student and what they got right and wrong on it.
Just wondering, with the results that you're getting coming through will you, I'm just thinking about how we can understand students' progress and how that might relate and correlate with other types of things that we've seen in the system before students, perhaps even longer term. So will the results anonymised and not becoming, will that be something that we'll get access to? What kind of relationship between their progress and other years?
To be honest, we haven't really thought about that, because our main thing is really to make an assessment available to be used by schools. I mean, in terms of research, we've been quite interested in what do students know. What do they know a lot of? What do they know a little bit of? And so this is going to be, quite interested in. We've sort of joked about coming up with this sort of, are you smarter than a 10-year-old assessment that, to get adults to do it and say, oh, well, this is where you've come and this is where your standard 10-year-old comes. But it'll be interesting to know, what are the 20 most, well, we're starting to get that anyway. What are the 20 most well-known Māori words that students know? Because if you can give that, and we've sort of talked about possibly at that very bottom level, saying, here's a bunch of words that we know that most students know. If you're a teacher, then you know, okay, as soon as my kids walk in, I know that 90% of them are going to know this cluster of words, so why not use those? Start with them. But what you're talking about, no, we haven't really given any thought to it.
And probably one thing to sit underneath this is that it would be very similar. So the way things work through the marketing service for NZCER products is that the school ultimately owns that data. So what we certainly might get into a situation of, you know, there's lots of questions about big data and tracking and integration of performance across different subject areas. So I could certainly see it'll be on the table as time goes on to see what link there is between proficiency or progress with other areas. But that's still part of that bigger question.
Kia ora. One question I didn't hear asked was how well did this teacher score, but maybe we'll talk about it afterwards. I couldn't help but thinking, in an ADK, one of the groups in the ministry, we've got a plan to get us all bilingual by 2025. And we've started that, and I was kind of thought, actually, maybe we should have put everybody through the test first.
It's not too late.
Yeah, so maybe we'll think of that. But also, just maybe more seriously, well, that was serious, you know, if today was a taonga, you know, if you don't know its state, you know, a taonga you don't just leave in the garage and under a thing and say nobody touch it. You know, you've really got to understand it to grow it, and this is part of that kind of mission, and that's really kind of really important stuff. So it's really great to see this going on. And yes, I got to about 3 questions in, and I was already starting to fail as well. So I just like everybody to thank our guests. Paki, I believe, is the. If you want any more questions, you know where they live. So do
Walking around, get a bit of